Hey everyone, and welcome. Have you ever really thought about what your vacation planning style says about you? Well, today we're diving into the pretty fascinating world of German holiday planning to figure that out.
So, I gotta ask you right off the bat, are you the type of person who just, packs a bag and goes? Or is your trip planned out to the very last minute, maybe even in a color-coded spreadsheet? Just keep that answer in your head for a bit.
You see, in German, this whole thing has a specific name, Urlaubsplanung. And trust me, it's not just about booking a flight. It's this whole concept that says a lot about how people think about their very precious time off. It's kind of like an art form, really.
German Holiday Planning 101. And it really is all about the approach. Because when it comes to Urlaubsplanning, how you plan is just as important as where you're going. Your method can actually say a lot about your personality.
Okay, so this brings us to what are called the Urlaubstypen, which literally means holiday types. We're going to break down 3 totally distinct personalities. So let's meet them.
First up, you've got the ganz spontan traveler. This is the person who just acts on a whim. The second they Lust haben, or get the desire or feel like it, they're just gone. No major plan, just pure, wonderful impulse.
And then, of course, we have the total opposite, the gut geplant type. This is your meticulous planner. They vorhaben, meaning they intend to get every single little detail just right. These are the folks who live for the research, the spreadsheets, the early bird booking.
And our third and final type is immer gleich, which means always the same. This is the traveler who just loves comfort and tradition. They found their perfect spot years ago, and they see absolutely no reason to change a thing. I mean, why mess with perfection, right?
So just take a second here. Do you see yourself in one of these? Are you the impulsive adventurer, the master organizer, or the happy creature of habit? I bet one of them is jumping out at you.
All right, so now let's see how these different ways of thinking actually translate into the real world of planning and booking. This is where the language itself gets really interesting.
Let's start with our meticulous Good Geplant planner. Their process is, as you'd expect, super logical. Step 1, Reise Ziele recherchieren. They research all the possible destinations. Step 2, Reise Angebote vergleichen. They compare all the travel deals. And the final, most crucial step, Rechtzeitig buchen. They book on time, way in advance, to lock in the best deal.
And you can truly see the difference in their whole mindset just by looking at the verbs they'd use. The gut geplant type will planen and vorhaben. They plan and they intend. But the ganz spontan type, they're more likely to just versuchen, just try something, all based on whether they Lust haben. And yeah, they might even vergessen or forget a few of the details along the way.
But hey, no matter what your type is, you're going to run into these words when you finally go to buchen, or book your trip. You'll have to decide, do you want Halbpension, that's half board, usually breakfast and dinner, or Vollpension, full board, all 3 meals. And you always want to double check if the Preis ist inklusive, if the price is inclusive of everything you're expecting.
Now, this brings us to a classic real-world problem. What on earth happens when a super spontaneous person travels with a meticulous planner? Well, the key to not driving each other crazy is that they have to einen Kompromiss finden. They have to find a compromise. A very useful phrase for travel and, for life.
So we've talked a lot about the how, but what about the why? It turns out your planning style is almost always directly connected to what you're actually hoping to get out of your vacation.
These goals, or Urlaubsziele, can be all over the place. Some people just want to sich erholen, to relax. Maybe even Faulenzen, which is a great word for just lazing around. Others want to viel unternehmen, do a ton of activities, or eine Stadt besichtigen, go sightseeing in a city. And our creature of habit? They might just want to am Strand liegen, to lie on their favorite beach, year after year.
And really, if you boil it all down, most of our vacation goals fall into one of these main categories. We're either looking for relaxation, activities, or sightseeing. And of course, these can totally overlap. You can absolutely be a planner who just wants to relax, or a spontaneous type who wants to see every museum in a city.
So here it is, the big takeaway. How you plan your trip is very often a perfect reflection of why you're even taking it. A super detailed itinerary makes perfect sense if your goal is to see everything, just like a totally open schedule is ideal for someone whose only real goal is to do absolutely nothing.
Which brings us all the way back to you. After going through all this, which one of the Urlaubstypen are you, really? And maybe more importantly, what is your ultimate Urlaubsziel, your true vacation goal? Thinking about those two things together might just change how you plan your next big trip.
And that's all for this explainer. Thanks so much for watching. And as they say in German, viel Spaß bei der Urlaubsplanung. Happy planning!